I'm back. MIGRANTS for Black and White Network. Well, we got two pieces on Chicago. We got the final tally of the shootings from Labor Day weekend, and I was wrong. They didn't make 40. Oh, my goodness. Throw a parade, Brandon Johnson. You only had 39 people shot. My bad. Oh, but since I did the update yesterday, 3 more people died. My God. My God. And the Chicago police put out a statement or something yesterday. I talked about, it was down from last year. 39 people, again, is nothing for anybody in any kind of leadership, law enforcement, mayor, anybody like that to brag about. It's not. It's not. Okay, that would be considered a disaster. And the mainstream media doesn't cover this, by the way. If 39 people and 6 were shot outside of Mar-a-Lago or something like that, wherever, if they were shot in any other place, it would be considered a mass shooting and would have national coverage because they would blame guns on the situation, and Biden would be out there sauntering his decrepit ass out to a news conference podium and looking at his notes, and he would be railing against Republicans for gun violence and the fact that we won't agree to ban guns or have guns on lockdown or any of that extra BS. Again, why is that? Because we're smart. We know criminals aren't going to follow gun laws. Case in point, Illinois has the strongest gun laws in the country. A lot of damn good it's doing, isn't it? They got some Democratic leadership, some socialist Democratic leadership. So we're going to go over that because final tallies are in, and we are also going to talk about, we have a black resident, and this has got something to do with the video that John did the other day, but we've got a black resident that has come out, and she is furious. She gave an interview with Fox News, and she is livid for being a Chicago taxpayer, a black Chicago taxpayer, and she's pissed off at black politicians in Chicago over migrants living right across the street from her house. And she says it's a lot of people that put in a lot of hard work, doctors, etc., that live where she lives, and they've got migrants over there getting a free ride. She's pissed about it. Don't blame her. Don't blame her. So, we got some more on that, so we'll take a look at that. Chicago shootings this Labor Day weekend. This is ABC 7. Left 6 dead and 33 wounded. By the way, there was some kids involved in this. There was. We talked about yesterday the 6-year-old boy that got shot involving this. God, it's just awful. It's just awful. Let me bust over to Fox News on this. 6-year-old boy in Chicago was shot at a family gathering over the Labor Day weekend, as a Windy City saw 3 dozen wounded and 6 murdered. Gunfire struck the 6-year-old's thigh at 5:30 p.m. while he was inside a residence in South Racine Avenue in Washington Heights neighborhood. Family member rushed the boy a short distance before they were met by EMS. Hours later, gunfire struck a 13-year-old boy in the head while he was near a sidewalk on South Elizabeth Street that is in Inglewood. My God, it's just crazy. Among the murder victims were 2 15-year-old boys shot multiple times in separate incidents. I mean, one 15-year-old boy died Sunday after being shot multiple times in the body, West Walnut Street. Second 15-year-old boy died Monday, multiple gunshot wounds after he was brought to South Shore Hospital. No arrests have been made in these shootings as the detectives continue to investigate. And look, in case you guys don't know this, there was a shooting. A woman grazed and another woman shot, suffered gunshot wounds at a White Sox game. Okay, they still don't know if it was inside the stadium, outside the stadium. But I could tell you've got Chicago residents that are trying to figure out why the hell that's getting so much attention and nobody else will call out the violence up there. Listen to this. This is a letter to the editor from a citizen up there about the White Sox and the effort that's being put in that, but the same kind of effort's not being put into this continuous onslaught of violence every weekend. They wrote an article, the Chicago Sun-Times did, and this is a response to the article. The article about ongoing investigation of the shooting incident at a White Sox game was quite interesting in that the Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives is now involved. Reportedly, they are utilizing what is referred to as, quote, state-of-the-art technology to go the extra mile to analyze ballistic evidence. Is it wrong of me to ask, where is all this technology, effort, and media coverage when it comes to the everyday shootings on the West Side? Not to belittle the victims at the ballpark, but don't all shooting victims deserve the same level of concern? And I thought that was important. I thought that was important to bring up. Okay? Because that tells you, just like this lady right here on the right, there are some Chicago citizens that are starting to wake up. John did that video the other day. That woman, they were talking at that meeting. That meeting was full because of illegal aliens coming into Chicago. That's Brandon Johnson's doing. Gonna take care of them. Worried about their safety. Not worried about the safety of people in Chicago. The taxpayers. And isn't that crazy? You got citizens that are starting to notice these little things. You're putting all this effort into this White Sox shooting. But why is the effort not the same for all the shootings in town? It's a damn fair question. I got to give the resident credit. It's a great question. Why are these things not being done? Is it because of defunding the police? That you don't have the resources to do it? Don't have the manpower to do it? You know, why are all these... We're talking about how many underage that I could see? 3 right off the bat. Underaged. They got shot. But those same kind of resources aren't being allocated for all of this violence? I don't know. Seems to me like that's on the mayor. It's on the politicians up there. Listen, this is Rachel Campos Duffy on Fox News, and she's interviewing this lady. She's a resident. The migrants are right across the street from her. Listen to this.
To your neighborhood at Hyde Park. Were any of the leaders who brought them there, did they inform the community?
No one informed us about the immigrants, illegal immigrants coming into Hyde Park. And it's not 100. There are 300 people at the Lakeshore Hotel, which is literally right across the street from me.
Wow, 300. Didn't bother to tell the Chicago residents in the community. I mean, that's berserk. It's insane. And the taxpayers are funding this shit show.
They started moving them in on Friday. There was a meeting held on Wednesday night.
By the way, federal government sends money for some of this. All right? For these migrants. I mean, it's not getting allocated for the citizens in Chicago. The people that actually live there legally. Just thought I'd point that out.
An emergency meeting that the alderman of the 5th Ward, who is Desmond Yancey, he held that meeting, and it was a standing room only. It was packed. I did not go to that meeting to ask any questions because no one asked the residents of the Newport condominium any questions before they put them over there. I went there to do exactly what I did. Disrupt, interrupt. You put 300 migrants right across.
She's pissed. Disrupt, interrupt. That's why she went there. This lady is mad as hell. Did you see all those people just laying around and shit? I mean, there are stories coming out of New York, horror stories. These illegal aliens are coming into the country. They're screwing in hallways and in stairwells, literally laying around in there, drinking and screwing. I mean, for a lack of a better way of putting it, they're doing that while they're getting a free ride. On your dime, by the way.
The street from the Newport condominium, a condominium where a lot of retired teachers and doctors, nurses lived. We have worked hard to live here. We pay a lot of money. It's very expensive to live here. Yet we have immigrants across the street from us who are not paying one dime. The taxpayers of the city of Chicago are funding their lifestyle. They are living on Lakeshore Drive, which is prime property here in the city of Chicago, here in Hyde Park. The citizens of Chicago are funding these people. Yet in the city of Chicago, you have a city.
We'll stop it right there. But that woman is some kind of pissed, and I don't blame her. You heard what she said. Teachers, doctors, nurses. I think you're going to get to see, and like John said the other day in his video, you're seeing people in Chicago starting to talk differently. A lot of people are starting to wrap their heads around what's actually going on in this country. I'm in Texas. These mother effers are just flowing into the damn country. Flowing like a river. Not like a trickle, not like a stream, not like a spring that just kind of goes. We're talking flowing into our country, and then Biden, the sanctuary cities, they wanted to be sanctuary cities. This is what your leadership did. This is what your mayor did, Brandon Johnson. Eric Adams is he's calling out Biden now. It's crazy. I'm going to be very interested. Is people in Chicago going to learn some lessons now? Are you going to learn some lessons now? Labor Day shootings, 39 shot, 6 dead. Underage shot all over the place. Extra resources allocated towards the elite that own the White Sox. Just wondering, but your regular citizens, they can't get that same consideration because the police likely got defunded and they don't have the resources for it. And the manpower, the amount of police they need. Why is that? It's a damn fair point. Why is those resources not being allocated for every shooting that happens? Because the resources aren't there. Whose fault is that? Lori Lightfoot, Brandon Johnson. It was Lori's fault. Now it seems like things are getting worse. We talked about the first 100 days of this clown. Worse than Lightfoot. Worse than Lightfoot. You got this lady, she said it is not cheap to live where they're at. And these are people that paid their dues, got their educations, had careers living over there. Now they put a bunch of illegal aliens right across the street from them. Very interesting indeed. Very interesting. Labor Day, once again, a train wreck. A violent train wreck. Quit voting for these people. I mean, I don't know how. Look, there's a reason why in our cities here in Texas, many of them, now I'm talking our red cities, some of the largest cities got some of the same issues that Chicago's got. Democratic mayors there too, by the way. But your small, the ones 150,000, 200,000, in that, they've got red leadership. That shit they would never get put up with because they would be citizens a mile deep lined up outside of the politicians, beating down doors, wanting to have answers. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Tell me what you think, Black and White Network supporters. That lady's mad. Don't blame her. Don't blame her. My God. The amount of people that get shot in this town every week is just, it's berserk. It's berserk. Again, if this was a shooting anywhere else, if there was a mall shooting or an amusement park shooting or a school shooting, the left stream media would be lined up outside. Biden would be holding and shaking his cards up on his podium, calling out MAGA extremists. MAGA extremists are not the ones pulling the triggers. Just thought I'd point that out. Peace, I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. Make sure you use promo code USA First, all one word. USA First, all one word will get you 25% off. Go get them right now.